Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back with the next review for the Fangoria Challenge. And this time, Jason and I watched Deathdream. The Fangoria Challenge is a challenge in which Jason from Horrific Nightmares and I watch all 101 best horror movies you've never seen, according to Fangoria. Deathdream is on that list, and it's featured in this book. In fact, here's its page right here. Deathdream is a 1974 horror film, directed by Bob Clark. The funny thing is, I always forget he directed this movie. When I think of Bob Clark, I immediately think of Black Christmas, A Christmas Story, Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, and even Porky's and Porky's 2. But I never think of Deathdream. I guess that's fitting though, since Fangoria obviously believes it's forgotten and deserves more attention. After watching it again after about 20 years, it truly is underrated in my opinion as well. Deathdream has a number of alternate titles, including Dead of Night, The Night Andy Came Home, The Veteran, Nightwalk, The Nightwalker, Whispers, King of the Grave, King from the Grave, and It Came from the Grave. But out of all of those, it's most popularly known as Deathdream or Dead of Night. Deathdream was filmed back-to-back in Florida with Children Shouldn't Play with Dead Things, also directed by Bob Clark. Speaking of Bob Clark, he has a small role as a police officer in Deathdream. Both movies were also written by Alan Ormsby, and he has roles in both as well. While eating dinner, Charles and Christine Brooks receive one of the worst visits they could get. They are informed that their son Andy has been killed in Vietnam. Their daughter and Andy's sister Catherine is also home to hear the news. Obviously, the Brooks family is devastated to learn of their loss. But then, Andy comes home. It seems Andy must have been mistaken for another soldier, because Andy is very much alive. Or is he? Regardless, Andy's family is happy to have him home. But soon enough, Andy's father Charles begins to notice something isn't right about Andy. But Christine and Catherine refuse to see it. And then, bodies start turning up around town. The cops begin an investigation into the death of a truck driver who was carrying a hitchhiker on the night Andy came home. The driver's body was found with a cut throat and an incision in his arm. But the hitchhiker was nowhere to be found. With Andy returning home the same night, he is suspected as the murderer, but his family defends him, claiming it can't be true. But there's something strange about Andy. Something creepy. He hasn't been the same since he returned, and he gradually continues to change. Charles has the town doctor meet with Andy, and soon after, the doctor turns up dead too. But it's not just the lives of the victims that the killer wants. It's their blood. Is Andy really an undead murderer, or is it all just a death dream? This is definitely a creepy movie based on a spooky tale, The Monkey's Paw. It's a loose adaptation, but you can clearly see the inspiration. I love the Florida town setting, and the house is very atmospheric. Deathdream also gets bonus points for having a scene at a drive-in movie theater with a really awesome kill. Richard Backus is awesome as Andy. He's chilling. He gives this emotionless stare, which is what I read got him cast in the role. His voice is very monotone, and he delivers his dialogue flawlessly. Deathdream also has a sadness to it, and the story is deeper than you initially realize. It's yet another one I agree belongs in the 101 best horror movies you've never seen. Fangoria got it right again. Which brings me to my relatable recommendation this time, The Monkey's Paw. Of course, the connection here is both movies were based on the same story. The Monkey's Paw premiered in 2013 on, I believe, the Chiller Network. I remember seeing the trailer for it all the time and thought it looked great. Scream Factory later released it on DVD and Blu-ray. As a matter of fact, I found and bought this DVD while I was hanging out with Jason. What will we be watching next from the list of 101? I can't say. And that's actually a clue. Check back soon to find out at which movie I am hinting. And be sure to check out Jason's review for Deathdream. But until then, let's discuss it. Have you seen Deathdream? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and, be kind, subscribe.